Right now on the eve of the spring primary, we are seeing more ads for the state Supreme Court race. Tonight, we'll take a look at one focusing on Dan Kelly.
Also, when tragedy can strike at any time, how state leaders are planning to deal with the potential crisis before, during, and after it happens.
And later, should some books be banned from school? Why one man running for a Baraboo school board seat thinks they should. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Today, temperatures felt a bit like early spring, but that is set to change, and so could your driving conditions.
A winter storm starting tomorrow night will affect all of Wisconsin through Thursday. Heavy snow and significant ice accumulations are possible. That could lead to some dangerous travel on the roads. First warn alert days are in the forecast, and let's check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Charlotte, yeah, it doesn't seem like we have a winter storm on the way, but we certainly do. It's been the pattern this year. We have a couple mild days, and then all of a sudden, the potential for a major winter storm. And this one will be from tomorrow night through Wednesday and into Thursday, with the possibility for snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Some areas, especially north of the Dells, could see significant snows, perhaps up to a foot in some areas. And then the possibility for significant ice accumulation south of Madison, maybe up to a half-inch of ice accumulation in an ice storm situation. Winter storm watches are in effect north of the Dells, beginning tomorrow evening for areas north and west of the Dells, and then northeast of the Dells. They start at 3 p.m. Wednesday. They run through 6 p.m. on Thursday. High temperatures today, very mild. 42 Madison, 46 in Janesville, 45 degrees in Lone Rock. Current temperatures are still pretty mild, still 46 in Janesville, 41 in Madison. It is starting to turn colder to the north and west. We do have a cold front coming in from the west that'll be here this evening. Temperatures across Dane County, though, still 40 in Deerfield, 41 in Cross Plains, and 41 in Wanakee. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy this evening, maybe a sprinkle or a flurry well north of Madison. Otherwise, temperatures dropping to the middle 30s. But I'll have more on our developing winter storm and the timing and types of precipitation we can expect in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Tomorrow is the spring primary, and ads are continuing to flood the airwaves in what is expected to be the most expensive state Supreme Court election in history.
Millions of dollars are being spent, and that's even before the primary election, which is tomorrow. Political reporter Will Keneally has our latest reality check.
Last week, we took a look at an ad run by Liberal candidate Janet Protasewicz. Now we'll take a look at one of the conservatives.
We need to elect conservative Justice Dan Kelly.
This ad is not being run by Dan Kelly's campaign itself, but is instead paid for by Fair Courts America, an independent expenditure campaign which has the financial backing of GOP megadonor Richard Uihlein. The ad talks up Kelly's conservative credentials.
Dan Kelly has a proven record of protecting our freedoms and cast the deciding vote to end the COVID lockdowns of our schools and businesses.
And this is partially true. The state Supreme Court issued a ruling that struck down the governor's lockdown orders. Kelly was among the 4 conservative justices that all ruled together, but it's not clear that he was the deciding vote in that case. He didn't write the majority opinion, for example. He did, though, share his own thoughts in a concurring opinion, which is something that he has run on throughout the campaign.
Madison liberals are trying to take over the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
The ad also takes a shot at the 2 liberal candidates running in the race. And again, this ad does not come from Kelly's campaign itself, but it does articulate what many conservatives see is at stake for this upcoming election. Protasewicz, one of the liberal candidates, has talked a lot about bringing her values to the bench. Conservatives are trying to block that. This Kelly ad is part of the more than $800,000 that Fair Courts America is putting behind the candidate in both radio and TV ads, and is part of the almost $4 million that outside groups are spending on this race. I'm Will Keneally with this reality check.
Now be sure to tune in tomorrow to News 3 Now for our full coverage of the election results. And also, you can find everything you need to know at channel3000.com. Look for our Campaign 2023 section on the homepage just below the Plan My Day forecast. We've compiled all the races we're following, as well as everything you need to know to make your choice at the polls, including all of our interviews we've done with Madison mayoral candidates leading up to Election Day.
Right now, police in Beloit are investigating a homicide after a woman was shot this morning. Officers were called to the 1300 block of Porter Avenue around 8:45. When they got to the scene, they found a woman with a gunshot wound, and she died at the scene from her injuries. Police Chief Andre Sales says the investigation is fluid, but there is no risk to the community.
A former Oregon community pool employee is facing criminal charges related to alleged sexual contact. In a message to district families, Superintendent Dr. Leslie Bergstrom said the district had worked with the Village of Oregon Police Department as part of an investigation into this former employee. Bergstrom did not name the former employee or share any further details about the investigation, citing student privacy laws. News 3 Now has contacted the Oregon School District and Village of Oregon Police Department to further comment and get details about the incident, but we have not yet received a response. A Diocese of Madison pastoral associate in the DeForest Parish is pleading guilty to child enticement. Rajnal Raymond is accused of having inappropriate sexual contact with a teenager. He allegedly sent a teenage parishioner suggestive messages and asked her for explicit photos. A criminal complaint also alleges he met the teen at a park where groping and other inappropriate sexual contact occurred. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for April 5th.
The Watertown Police Department is investigating the death of a man following a train accident last Friday night. The incident happened around 6:35 p.m. in the area of West Main Street and Hiawatha Street. So far, there is no indication of criminal activity. Details about what caused the crash were not immediately available. The release did not name the victim. While they hope that no school is ever impacted by tragedy, state leaders know all too well there's always a risk. It's the reason the state's Department of Justice wants educators across the state to be prepared. This morning at the Middleton Cross Plains Area District Headquarters, dozens of school counselors, psychologists, and social workers took part in a crisis intervention course. The training covered how best to respond to traumatic events, meaning anything from a school shooting to a car accident.
Making sure that we're doing everything we can to keep our kids safe so they can focus on what they should be focused on, which is learning. To me, that's important both as the Attorney General, thinking about the safety of our communities and our state, but also as a parent.
Attorney Josh Call also spoke with staff about their role in bringing a sense of safety among students. He says as school environments have changed, the type of support offered by staff should keep up.
The Rock County Sheriff's Office mourning the loss of a retired canine who they say passed away earlier today. Canine Sasha passed away after being diagnosed with lymphoma. She began active duty with the Sheriff's Office back in August of 2013 and retired in January of last year, working alongside Sergeant Nathan DeBoer. Officials said Sasha performed over 150 tracks and 600 drug-related searches during her time with the Sheriff's Office. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi allocating $6 million to help food insecurity with the already successful Farm to Food Bank initiative. Parisi says the funding comes at a critical time. Temporary increases to the federal and state food stamp benefits designed to help families cope with the financial impacts of the pandemic will end at the end of the month.
Farm to Food Bank should be a nationwide model. It's not only the right thing to do, it provides nutritious food to everyone, and everyone deserves access to fresh, nutritious food. That shouldn't depend on the size of your paycheck.
Since 2020, the county has invested $20 million to acquire and distribute well over 12 million pounds of locally sourced food.
Coming up, fans of Starbucks coffee drinks may want to double check those bottles. Why thousands of them are now being recalled.
Also, Senator Tammy Baldwin touting green energy efforts in Madison, how she says federal investments will benefit the area. That's next.
Surgenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WIS VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
The sun has risen, the pride has returned, and the time has come to join the circle of life at the Lion King.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
After violence turned Waukesha's Christmas parade into tragedy, Judge Jennifer Doro ensured justice was served, maintaining order, protecting the rights of victims. Her grace under fire won praise nationally. Now Judge Jennifer Doro is ready to serve on the Supreme Court. Wife, mother, prosecutor. Judge Doro's life's work is keeping Wisconsin families safe. It's no surprise Judge Doro is law enforcement's choice. The tested judicial leader, Judge Jennifer Doro for Supreme Court.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Senator Tammy Baldwin is touting green energy efforts today after visiting a solar array at Fire Station 7 on McKenna Boulevard. The senator, along with Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, met with trainees from the city's Green Power program, which aims to prepare participants for solar energy jobs while also reducing the city's carbon footprint. Senator Baldwin also touted the Inflation Reduction Act's energy effects on clean energy programs.
That act will boost U.S. manufacturing of clean energy and transportation technologies like solar panels, wind turbines, and electric cars and buses. And that means the components and the technology powering our shift to clean energy will also be supporting American companies and American jobs in manufacturing.
Senator Baldwin also highlighted her efforts to secure $1.5 million in federal funding to install solar panels at the Truax Park apartments on the city's east side to help lower-income residents save money on their energy bills.
Thousands of bottles of Starbucks Frappuccino vanilla chilled coffee drinks are being recalled over concerns that there's glass inside those bottles. According to the FDA, the 13.7-ounce bottles were sold in cases of 12. More than 25,000 cases were distributed. The recalled bottles have the following expiration dates: March 8th, May 29th, June 4th, and June 10th. And while the drink has the Starbucks brand, it was distributed by PepsiCo. When we come back, how you can help the DNR with its research on Wisconsin's black bear population.
Plus, some school board candidates in Baraboo are looking to remove certain books from the classroom. We'll hear from one of those candidates on why he's taking that position.
And we could see another major winter storm pass through our area this week. Gary will break it all down. His complete forecast is next.
Now get an extra 25% off Slumberland's low prices during the final week of our huge President's Sale. Come see our special offers throughout the store. The final week of our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture with an extra 25% off.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of tile from Mohawk. Find the tile that's right for you and save big money. Right now, these 12 by 12 tiles are 11% off. Complete your tiling job with professional quality installation products from Tech. Power Grout is stain resistant and never needs sealing. Pick up this bag of Power Grout for $18.99 after rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
From working out to catching up, and of course game night, your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 78 years. And during our 78th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $78. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
We depend on judges to keep our families safe. But Jennifer Doro has a long history of keeping criminals, even sexual predators, out of prison. As a judge, Doro lets criminals off easy so often, a fellow judge questioned her soft treatment of convicted criminals. She even gave a convicted domestic abuser 2 days to report to prison, time he used to violently assault his own family members. Jennifer Doro lets criminals off the hook, and that has no place on our Supreme Court.
This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care. A framework for living well. Windows to take in the beautiful future. and is crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living, built with the help of angels.
Right now, get an extra 25% off Slumberland's low prices during the final week of our huge President's Sale. Come see our special offers throughout the store. The final week of our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture with an extra 25% off.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Book banning has taken a front row seat in Florida after Governor Ron DeSantis passed censorship laws. And that conversation has arrived in a small Wisconsin school board race coming to a head tomorrow.
Our Catherine Merck has been digging into what's going on in Baraboo and shows us the books in the limelight here. Catherine?
3 candidates in the Baraboo school board race are making books one of the big issues in their campaign. Take a look at some of the titles. The Kite Runner and Perks of Being a Wallflower are just some of them. Both of these have also been turned into well-known films. One parent I spoke with said these stories are important for his child to be able to share his culture with the community. However, for one candidate I spoke with, he says he's reading between the lines. Turn to page 97 of Sherman Alexie's book, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. One of the most famous phrases from the piece says, "The world, even the smallest parts of it, is filled with things you don't know."
I have a daughter in high school right now.
One Baraboo School District parent who asked to be anonymous says it's this message that allows his Native American daughter to connect her culture to the classroom.
It's something that my daughter was able to relate to.
In the upcoming race for Baraboo School Board, this book and others are being targeted.
If I had a book in front of me and I read from it, we wouldn't be able to broadcast that over your airwaves.
James Hine is one of 8 candidates running for 3 open Baraboo School Board seats. On his campaign website that he shares with 2 other candidates, it states books like Sherman Alexie's have concerning adult content for the classroom.
We have a problem in the Baraboo schools, like I think many other schools are having, with children who are not behaving in a particularly civilized or dignified way. And that's at least partially explained by the materials to which they're exposed and they're consuming as part of the curriculum.
Other candidates have commented on Hine's online post. In a statement to News 3 Now, Angela Hanley called it, quote, a sign of authoritarian tendencies. The candidates' push to remove these books mirrors the right-wing push in Florida to ban hundreds of books from classrooms.
Floridians want our school system to be about educating kids, not indoctrinating kids.
I asked Hine if he wants to ban these books. His website calls for a removal. He told me that was only from schools.
It's not my business whether their parents want to, a child's parents want to provide access to that type of material, but rather what is available through the libraries in our schools.
So then that would thus mean not having those allowed in schools?
Potentially. I'd love to hear the argument as to why they should be allowed.
What's left for Baraboo voters is the argument this parent poses straight from the page. How much do the smallest things matter if they teach you something about the world you don't know?
Part of reading a book is putting yourself in the position of the people that you're reading about and say, what would I do? Or how would that have affected us? And to not be able to read about those, there's no reason for it.
Hine admits that he has bigger priorities if he were elected school board, like making sure the students in the district are proficient in their studies. I asked the 8 candidates that are running for this position about what their biggest priorities are heading into tomorrow's election. You can hear their responses on channel3000.com. Reporting live in Baraboo, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. Quiet weather today, but that is going to change starting tomorrow night. Here's Gary and his first warn forecast.
Well, let's start out by taking a look at 3 things you need to know about this winter storm. We're going to see snow develop tomorrow night. Now, the first round of precipitation will mainly be from Madison northward, and the snowfall amounts will be heaviest north of Wisconsin Dells. So areas south of Dane County might see very little, if any, in the way of snow, but areas, say, north of the Dells may see several inches of accumulation. Then we have the potential for freezing rain on Wednesday, and this will be mainly Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Snow will overspread all of southern Wisconsin and then mix with or change to freezing rain in and sleet from Madison southward. So that's where the highest probability of ice accumulations will be, whereas farther to the north, again, north of the Dells, another round of heavy snow is a possibility. It'll also be windy. We'll see winds in the 20 to 35 mile per hour range with some gusts maybe as high as 45 miles per hour. That could lead to some blowing and drifting snow, and also if ice accumulates on power lines, that could lead to power outages as well. So Saturday morning, we already put it in the forecast, the first warned weather alert day, or actually days, for Tuesday night through Wednesday and Thursday. And again, this is for that mixed precipitation, heavy snow north of the Dells. Probably that's where the heaviest snow will be, and ice accumulation south of Madison. Future track, this is through early Wednesday morning. First round of precipitation, this is just for tomorrow night. Perhaps as much as 4 to 6 inches of snow north of the Dells. Notice south of Dane County, very little in the way of snow accumulation. But that area will get the ice, and this will mainly be Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night, with the potential for a third to maybe a half inch of ice accumulation down toward the Illinois state line, maybe about a tenth to 2/10 as far north as Madison, but north of the Dells, it'll mainly be snow, so very little in the way of ice accumulation there. The final snowfall potential, adding in what's going to occur tomorrow night as well as Wednesday and Wednesday night, probably looking at as much as a foot of snow or more north and west of, say, Camp Douglas over toward Toma and La Crosse, whereas down toward the Illinois state line, probably around an inch. Madison, somewhere in the 3 to 6 inch range. Again, this is going to be very dependent on whether or not we have more freezing rain or more snow here. That would, if we had more snow, obviously we'd be toward the higher end of the snow totals. Future track shows the snow coming in by tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Again, the best chances for snow will be from Madison northward. South of Madison, not as much. Then a break Wednesday morning. We just see clouds and maybe some flurries or some freezing drizzle, but watch what happens Wednesday afternoon. Snow spreads northward. We've got freezing rain, especially down toward the Illinois state line. Temperatures just below freezing, a perfect setup for this. And then as we head into Thursday, notice one wave moves northward, maybe another round of some freezing rain and snow, and then that lifts northward during the morning on Thursday, and by Thursday afternoon it pretty well winds down. But this storm system will be coming in pretty rapidly from the north and west, and will spread a variety of wintry weather across pretty much the entire Midwest. So as we check out our forecast, and for some reason, let's see if we can get to our graphic here. It doesn't want to jump. But we are looking for a winter storm watch for areas north of Wisconsin Dells. This is basically from tomorrow evening into the day on Wednesday and Thursday, and then from north and east of Wisconsin Dells, that winter storm watch runs until 6 p.m. on Thursday. Again, future track shows the heavier snow lifting to the north after the storm will turn cold on Friday, and then see another round of some wintry precipitation for the early part of next week.
Gary, thank you. The DNR asking for help locating black bear dens across the state. The effort, part of the ongoing black bear litter survey and diet survey, which helps estimate black bear reproductive rates in each bear management zone. Black bear dens tend to be noisier at this time of the year as cubs are born. Researchers are interested in all dens, however, regardless of if there are cubs present or not. We have a link to where you can report a den at channel3000.com.
And coming up in sports, Connor Sejan struggled shooting on Saturday, while Greg Gard says he's not concerned about his freshman shot after an 0 for 10 performance. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm voting for Judge Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
She believes in our freedom to make our own decisions when it comes to abortion.
Extremists want to ban abortion,
even in cases of rape and the health of the mother.
Judge Janet Protasewicz is the change Wisconsin needs.
Don't delay. The Brothers Maine President's Day sale is happening now. Shop local and save with tremendous deals on Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana appliances. We have the area's largest selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Is your house frustratingly cold? Here's some good news. You can upgrade to our high-efficiency foam insulation, and the federal government will pay up to 30% of the cost in the form of an energy tax credit. Our foam keeps the cold air out, your warm air in, with lower energy costs all year long. And again, the energy tax credit covers up to 30% of the cost. Our schedule is filling fast, so call now and get in ahead of everyone else. It's time to stop freezing and start saving.
USA Insulation.
Do you suffer from chronic or
former prosecutor, now circuit court judge, Janet Protasewicz. On the Supreme Court, she'll be a common-sense judge. She believes in abortion rights, fairness for all, and protecting public safety. Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
We're celebrating Fat Tuesday in the 608 with a gooey Polish tradition.
Tomorrow I'll be live at Lane's Bakery with the taste and tell on Punchki.
And a winter storm will bring us some snow and ice. We'll track it tomorrow between 4:30 and 7.
Connor Essegian's last two shooting performances kind of sum up what it's been like every other game for the Badger men. One game Wisconsin is good and they win. The next, the exact opposite. Tuesday night against Michigan, CE3 was dialed in, scoring a career-high 23 points to lead UW to a win. Saturday versus Rutgers, the opposite. Essegian finished with 2 points and didn't make a shot from the floor, but Greg Gard says he isn't too worried about his freshman.
He had a manager and 3 basketballs going to the court, so he was going to shoot. And, okay, that's a good sign. You know, just conversing with him a little bit yesterday, I said, hey, every elite shooter is going to have one of those days. If you're doing this long enough, you're not going to avoid one of those. And the key is to have a short memory, you know, and he, right away, he said, yep, I understand it. I'm good. Next one's in.
The Badger Bracketology Watch continues this week with Wisconsin holding steady on the last 4 in line. ESPN's bracket guru Joe Lenardi has Greg Gard's squad in the tournament despite losing to Rutgers on Saturday. UW has 2 big opportunities to boost their resume this week with Iowa on Wednesday and Michigan on Sunday. I think it's safe to say Badger women's hockey is peaking at the right time. Wisconsin closed out their final 2 regular season series with a shootout win and a regulation win at Minnesota, and then split with the #1 ranked Ohio State. The latter earned Vivian Jungle's WCHA Rookie of the Week honors for her 3-point performance. Now it's on to the conference tournament. UW will host Minnesota State in a best-of-3 series starting Friday. The Badgers are 4-0 against the Mavericks this season. The NFC champions need a defensive coordinator, and Jim Leonard might be their guy. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the former Badger D coordinator has interviewed for the Eagles opening. After entering the NFL as an undrafted free agent, Leonard played 10 seasons in the league before returning to Madison to turn the Badgers into one of the top defensive units in the country year in and year out. Remember when the Packers needed a D coordinator?
They're keeping their guy, right? He had a great year this year, right?
They were just great.
I think the fans were very happy with his performance. Let's go to Gary, quick final check.
Yeah, winter storm watch north of the Dells already, and we'll have to watch out for the rest of the area.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you back here at 10.